Imagine waking up one morning to silence, empty streets, businesses shuttered, a lone swing set swaying in the breeze. This is the aftermath of ice raids, and the human cost is staggering. We'll hear the stories of families ripped apart, dreams shattered, and communities struggling to rebuild. But most importantly, we're going to ask, at what cost? Is this the price we're willing to pay? Stay with me as we shine a light on the human impact of these raids. This is Postville, Iowa. Back in 2008, Postville was a town on the rise. Families were putting down roots, kids were playing Little League, life was good. Then, everything changed. ICE agents descended on the agri-processor's meatpacking plant, rounding up nearly 400 undocumented workers. Businesses shut their doors, schools lost students, and the very fabric of Postville began to unravel. Years later, the scars still remain, a stark reminder of the day the life was ripped out of this small Iowa town. Welcome to Laurel, Mississippi, once a bustling hub of the poultry industry. In the summer of 2019, ICE raids swept through Laurel, leaving a trail of devastation. Over 600 workers detained, families torn apart, and a community left reeling. Production lines ground to a halt, businesses closed, and the ripple effects were felt throughout the community. Laurel now grapples with the aftermath, trying to piece together the life it once knew. The salty air, the sound of seagulls, the smell of fresh seafood, this is New Bedford, Massachusetts. For generations, immigrants flocked to New Bedford, drawn by the promise of work in the bustling seafood processing plants. But in 2007, a massive ICE raid left over 300 workers detained, families shattered, and a community in shock. Seafood processing slowed to a crawl, businesses struggled, and the once thriving harbor felt the sting of loss. Today, New Bedford continues to rebuild, but the memory of that day still lingers. Carthage, Missouri, a town with a heartland spirit where neighbors helped neighbors. But beneath the surface, a storm was brewing. ICE raids tore through the fabric of the community. Families were separated, homes left empty, and fear cast a long shadow over Carthage. Businesses struggled to keep their doors open. The vibrant cultural tapestry of Carthage began to fade, leaving behind a community grappling with division and loss. Greenville, South Carolina, a city on the rise, a testament to hard work and the American dream. But behind the facade of growth, a different story was unfolding. ICE crackdowns left a trail of unfinished dreams. Construction projects fell silent, and the economic engine of Greenville sputtered. The dream of a prosperous future seemed to slip further out of reach. Morristown, Tennessee, a town where children's laughter filled the air and schools were the heart of the community. But the sounds of childhood joy were silenced when ICE raids cast a long shadow over Morristown. Families fled, leaving behind empty homes and a void in the classrooms. Schools faced dwindling enrollment, funding cuts followed, and teachers lost their jobs. The raids left a scar on the heart of this small town, a stark reminder of the human cost of broken immigration policies. Storm Lake, Iowa, a town where the land whispered tales of hard work and resilience. But the promise of a bountiful harvest turned bitter when ICE raids swept through Storm Lake. Farmers struggled to find workers to plant, tend, and harvest their crops. Fields lay fallow, the fruits of their labor rotting on the vine, a poignant symbol of a system broken. Hazleton, Pennsylvania, a town with a rich history, a place where immigrants from all walks of life came to build a better future. But the promise of unity turned to ashes in the wake of aggressive ICE enforcement. Families were torn apart, neighbors turned against neighbors, and the very soul of Hazleton seemed to fracture. Homes stood empty, a haunting reminder of the families who once called Hazleton home. Moultrie, Georgia, a town where the sweet scent of peaches and the vibrant green of watermelon fields painted a picture of agricultural abundance. But the bounty of the earth couldn't mask the fear and uncertainty that gripped the community when ice raids descended upon Moultrie. Farmers watched in dismay as their workforce vanished overnight. Crops withered on the vine, a stark reminder of the broken immigration system. Los Angeles, the City of Angels, a sprawling metropolis known for its diversity, its energy, its dreams. But even in the City of Angels, the human cost of ice raids is etched into the fabric of the community. Neighborhoods fell silent as fear and uncertainty drove families into hiding or out of the country. The City of Angels grapples with the consequences of a broken system, reminding us that even in the City of Dreams, nightmares can take root. We've journeyed across America, bearing witness to the devastating impact of ice raids on towns and families. We've seen the empty streets, the shuttered businesses, the vacant classrooms, and the faces etched with fear and uncertainty. But amidst the heartache, there's hope. Communities are coming together, rebuilding their lives, and demanding a more humane approach to immigration. Thank you for joining us on this journey, for opening your hearts and minds to the human stories behind the headlines. Don't forget to subscribe for more eye-opening stories.